League 2 playoff predictions, semi-final, Leg 2.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It is the second leg of the League 2 playoffs, as Tom just said in the intro. So we'll be running over the predictions for those in just a second, but before we get to it, I just want to mention a couple of things. As always, we do put timestamps down below in the description, so you can go and check that out. You can also use the chapters feature on the actual YouTube video itself. It runs along the bottom. That's if you want to jump to a certain game. But really, I think you should just see the quality, detailed, amazing analysis that we put in to both of these games. Thank you, as always, for everyone that supports the channel. Please continue to like the videos and subscribe. And nothing else. I'm not going to delay anymore. Tom, let's just jump into these matches.
Exeter City host Colchester United.
So, Exeter versus Colchester. Yeah, this one was not a great game, was it? It was pretty poor, pretty turgid stuff. A bit of a chore to watch. You saying that's just down to lack of preparation?
I think, what is it? They've had 10 training sessions before this, which is like, they looked exhausted compared to the second match we're going to talk about, which had a bit of the same in it. It was like the pitch was huge. You kept seeing just like open swathes of space, and part of that is it's League 2 football, but they were tired, and you could tell they were tired, especially by the end. Yeah,
also as well, there's that thing, playoffs can either be very, very tight and cagey games, or they can be quite open blood and thunder games, and this one certainly fell into the tight and cagey category, which didn't help things. Yes, but I actually do think Colchester was slightly the better side, so if ever there was going to be a winner, I thought it was deserved to be them. Only 2 shots on target in the entire game, and that tells you all you need to know about this one. Both of them came from Cohen Bramall. They were both free kicks. One in the first half, which was easily tipped over, but at least the goal was worth waiting for. It was a very, very, very quick bit of thinking by him. Everybody thought he was just going to put a cross into the box, but he's whipped it into the top corner from a tight angle. You'll talk about goalkeeping, I'm sure, because there's always going to be question marks on it, but from a Colchester point of view, I thought that was just a brilliant, brilliant finish. He's put that right in the top corner, or pretty close to the top corner. And has caught everybody cold. Bramall was kind of the fitting guy to get the winner, because I thought he was the best player on the pitch, actually. He defended really well, and he marked Williams quite well out of the game for Exeter, who's a big player for them, and he looked good going forward. Colchester play a very much more direct than Exeter, but not like a long ball side. They just like to get the ball forward quickly. When they did get the ball into the channels, they did cause a few problems. I thought Nublé looked quite good for them. Colchester taking a slight 1-0 lead into the second leg. You would think that I'm going to back Colchester to go and win this tie, but I'm actually not. I'm actually going to back Exeter City to win this game 2-1, and I think it's going to go all the way to penalties, and I think Exeter are going to win on penalties.
You've done a really good job summing that up. I've got very little else to say outside of that. I will say that I am yet again predicting a 3-2 Exeter City win. I also expect them to win on penalties. So we can't be pulled apart on this one. I refuse to be pulled apart on this one. I will say, I think one of the main reasons Paul Tisdale left the job before was the amount of times they lost in playoffs and cup finals under him, and just how much bad luck they had. This is a club that really just can't shake the inability to win when it matters in the playoffs. Like you said, it was a poor game, one on a moment of brilliance, or was it one when the goalkeeper couldn't mark his near post? Honestly, he should have done better. There's no question of that. It's a great free kick. It's got good power on it. You can't get beaten on that near post. You can't.
You can.
You can't. It's against the rules, Ian. Lee Martin coming off injured after 35 minutes is going to be a loss. I think he's got something like 7 goals in the season from them. If they can get Baumann involved in this game, they're going to do a lot better. They just couldn't seem to even get the ball to him most of the time. Poor guy just looked lonely up top. Both sides look rusty. They'll definitely be improved this next match. They'll probably have their legs under them a bit more. So like I said, Exeter City 3, Colchester United 2.
I was a defender, Tom, so I'm going to say both sides defended well.
Boo.
Cheltenham Town versus Northampton Town.
Right, I'm just going to say it now. Ian watched both of these games. I watched the highlights from both of these games. Thank you, Sky. I cannot afford you. So Ian will give you the full lowdown on this. I will give the small lowdown on this. Northampton lost 2-0 to Cheltenham. Cheltenham won 2-0 against Northampton. I expected more from Shaquille O'Neal's boys. They were supposed to be out there bowling, and they, in fact, could not even complete a layup. But what an exciting match it was. They missed a penalty, but I actually think it's a really good stop. It's kind of low. Yeah, it's a little bit too central, but that is where, like, Owen Evans was unbelievable. The highlights of this game were just Owen Evans making saves and then 2 goals for Cheltenham. Like, 3 or 4 really good saves in that match. If Owen Evans turns up again in this, Cheltenham are definitely going to win. I had not realized how good a defense.
Well, I imagine he will turn up.
I hate you. I hate you. Northampton really are going to be wondering how they didn't score, but I think 2-0 is just an unassailable lead. I think they're really going to be chasing the game, and they're going to have to be way too open. So I can't believe it, but I'm going to reverse my Northampton love, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 Cheltenham Town victory.
Wow, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Tom, any thoughts on BBC spending a whole paragraph talking about a linesman pulling a hamstring?
BBC Football is my homepage when I turn the computer on, and yet every day I read it, I'm more irate at the commentary they're doing right now. It seems all they really care about is how clean the footballs are and the flags are. That seems to be it. No football was actually played yesterday, but social distancing was maintained off the pitch.
Yeah, there we go, and we're probably justifying it by spending a minute talking about it ourselves, but this game was a massive difference to the Exeter-Colchester game. This game was played at a much better pace, a much better tempo, so much more intensity. It was a real blood and thunder game, and I think a lot of that's down to the way Northampton are very much a take-no-prisoners kind of side. How they did not score in this game, I do not know. They had loads of chances. They looked a constant threat through the whole tie. Really, really well drilled from set pieces. And long throw in that almost like bloody clears the pitch. It's such a long throw. But and I would have said against any of the other 2 sides in the playoffs, I think Northampton would have won that game quite comfortably. But this Cheltenham side is fantastic in defence. They have the 3rd best defensive record of all the sides in the English professional game. And that was on show and then some in this game. They defended really well, and when they couldn't defend, as you said, they had Owen Evans in goal. He's actually in goal because their regular goalie Flinders, he broke his leg, so Evans has been in goal for this half of the season. He's on loan from Wigan, 23-year-old, but what a performance. You've talked about the penalty save. It was a blinder and just a absolute masterclass of a goalkeeper performance, which way beyond like a 23-year-old goalkeeper should give. And Cheltenham were clinical. Northampton had loads of set pieces and couldn't score from them, but Cheltenham, that's where their first goal came from. Came from a corner. They forgot to mark Raglan. He ran across the near post, got a header on it. We talked about Charlie Raglan. I talked about how much I liked him when he was at Oxford and didn't get a chance, and he's certainly proving that in this Cheltenham Town side. It looked for all the money it was going to be 1-0. Northampton, quite a direct side. Cheltenham looking to play pretty good football, but on the counter-attack for the most part. And unfortunately for Northampton, Cheltenham did get that second goal pretty late on. There was a counter-attack that they failed to clear. It fell to Connor Thomas, and he tucked it away. Weird stat on him. That's actually the 3rd goal he scored against Northampton away.
Loves him.
That's like the last 3 games, like that one. There was and the last 2 before that, he scored an away goal. So Northampton must be absolutely sick of the sight of him. And yeah, I thought Cheltenham will be good in these playoffs, and I've no reason not to back them again. I actually think it will be 2-0 again. 2-0 to Cheltenham. They just look a complete side to me.
Yeah, no, they looked really good. Even in the highlights, they looked really good. But yeah, it's been good. I mean, the first match was genuinely pretty boring, but the second game was great. It was really enjoyable. The highlights are really enjoyable. And
yeah, it's harsh. I mean, the second game felt like a playoff game. The first game felt a little bit like a pre-season friendly.
Right. Well, that's it for me and Ian. All that's left to say is thank you for liking, subscribing, and following us. Lots of love to all of you. We'd really like to thank Ollie Hambling for commenting. William Golder, indeed, Ian probably agrees very strongly with everything you're saying right now.
What did he say?
There's something about scum going up. Thank you, Chris Smith. Thank you, Ginny Uman. You're right. Colchester may well get promoted. They have beaten a lot of big teams. Alexander Allen, stop commenting on our wall. Levi Booker, 22. 50-50. Well done, mate. Shane O'Donnell, you thought a draw in the first match. Colchester outdid you, but you were right about Cheltenham. They also won.
Man, just copy. Why not? Why didn't you have an original idea and not copy me?
Pipe down. Stop insulting the people that like us. Martin Powell said Cheltenham played well. Really well done, everybody. Really appreciate this, and hopefully we'll see you for the final.